Hello. I can't think of a better time except now than to get to the pile of clothing that I have not altered. I'm not working for any money right now. I got to apply for EI, so might as well. I have a bunch of things to hem, some pants to resize. So today is a kind of DIY with me. Let's get started on what we have. I, for the life of me, could not find any nice 90s bucket hats at the thrift store, so I thrifted this floppy one and, in a way, hemmed it. I turned the hat inside out and marked 2 inches away from the seam all around. The hat has a swirly stitch pattern that I thought was fun, then I straight stitched around the brim to keep all the layers together. I preferred the raw edge, so fluffed it up a little at the end. I thought this contrast stitch skirt was so modern, but the shape was just a little too A-line. In a way, it's good it didn't have pockets because it made altering it much easier. I turned it inside out, pulled away the lining, and undid the flipped hem. Then created a line to stitch down from just about the top of the skirt to the original side seam to a more tapered bottom about an inch in. Because I wasn't taking out too much fabric, I left the lining alone. And now it's a much easier shape to style. With the pencil skirt, I can wear boxy tops without overwhelming my frame. I had these plaid pants for so long and they fit well, aside from the fact that they're quite oversized on me. Luckily, the waistband is split, which saves a lot of effort for me. All I had to do was split the pants down the middle, including detaching the waistband lining. Then flip everything inside out. I matched the raw edges together just like how it was sewn, making sure the seams are aligned, and then took in from where I marked earlier, all the way down and blend it back into the original seam in the crotch. I stitched this down about 3 times just to be safe, then like the original, do a little stitch over the finished waistband to keep the top from splitting. Because I altered it smaller around the waist, the pants sat higher and above my belly button, which meant that I didn't have to hem the length, as before they were dragging on the floor too much. So this was a win-win. These were new Topshop jeans that I thrifted, and I'm trying to experiment with different cuts of jeans. All they needed was a simple slice an inch away from your intended fold. Then after folding over, my mom taught me this trick where you rub the new hem along the table so it maintains the fold. It's like a quick press to make sewing easier. I stitched with a contrasting stitch just like the original had. Although they're the perfect length now, I think these need a bit of a heel or a sandal to be a cute 70s outfit. So here's a great opportunity to show you what to do when you make a mistake. I cut these pants too short. Maybe blame it on me being distracted, video chatting the girls.
Oh, you did it too short?
Oh, I made a mistake!
Turn them into capri.
So what I did instead was match it back to the pants with the right side of the cuff to the wrong side of the pant, then zigzag stitch it to reattach. That way when I flip it out, it will look like these pants are cuffed intentionally and the right side will be flipped over. Then roll the raw edge into the cuff and stitch in the ditch in the side seams of the pants to hold the cuff together. Either press or blind hem to hold the rest of the fold down. I mean, I would have preferred the pants to be hemmed the right way, but this was a good save so that I could still wear them without having to turn them into capris. So, as we're in an extremely short supply of medical equipment for our frontline workers in Ontario and in all of Canada, I was looking into making DIY masks for them, but unfortunately our healthcare system is not accepting them because N95s are what are required to be used at the hospital, and should there be a shortage of those masks, they're recommending to reuse those masks even more than using a homemade mask. Just talked to my sister, she's a nurse in Vancouver, and so although masks are not accepted at this time, they are in need of scrub caps, so I am going to look into sourcing fabric, maybe picking some up for my mom. I don't have much cotton scrap fabric at home. I might make an Instagram video on making scrub caps instead. And then just for your information, to try and look up your local hospital to see if they need PPE. But save a little bit of fabric because things are not going well and they might need to resort to home masks eventually, but for now they are in need of scrub caps. So yeah, stay tuned for that. I'm sorry, I do not want my mom to go back to work. She said that after quarantine she's gonna go back, and my mom is retired and had already come back out of retirement, so she's been back to work now for a while. It's a nurse thing. I think they just can't stay away. But like, she was talking about going back to work after quarantine, and I'm like, I don't want you to go back to work.